Right, everyone overthinks full body versus muscle group splits to build muscle. How can I say that so confidently? Because I was in the same boat. I used to overthink this so much in my early years of training, and I wasn't actually taking care of the basics in the first place. So regardless of your training split and what muscle group split you're using, how many days per week you're training, if you're not taking care of the basics, which is proper recovery, going to bed on time, not scrolling on Bumble, Tinder or TikTok, nothing's changed. I was doing that back in the day. I'm probably still doing that now. In this video, I'm going to be explaining the different options you've got available to you, how to choose your training plan, and stick around till later in the video because I'll be giving away a free plan at the end. If you are training 6 days a week in the gym, you're probably overtraining, and most people are going to be better off training 3 to 4 times a week at the start, making sure you're being consistent with that, rather than going 6 days a week and then falling off the next week when you can't maintain it. What training plans are there to follow? Well, the first one is bro splits, and this is the traditional classic bodybuilding one where you do one muscle group each day. Monday legs, Tuesday chest, Wednesday back, Thursday shoulders, Friday arms, abs, whatever it is. And splitting one muscle group out per day is not going to be that an efficient use of time. And you've got to bear in mind, you're not a pro bodybuilder. I'm afraid to say, if you're watching this, you probably just want to get in shape, look lean, aesthetic, feel confident, and you're not going to be eating out of Tupperwares for the rest of your life. You probably want to eat out and have a life as well, right? I do anyway. So if you are not training like a bodybuilder, what is the point in copying their routine? And your recovery is not going to be as good as theirs. So this is why if you're on steroids or you're enhanced, you can recover a lot quicker and just hammer a lot more sets, a lot more volume in the gym. And it doesn't make sense from a time perspective. Shoulders only have 3 heads, therefore you only need 3 exercises really to train them. So does it make sense to do an entire day on shoulders? Not really. The next option is going to be a full body. Full body is typically done 3 times a week. I've tried going up to 4 or 5 times a week on a full body, but you will just be battered because you're doing so many big movements that you probably can't recover between them. So I would stick to 3 days a week with 1 day rest in between each full body workout if you are doing full body. It's a good beginner routine because it gives you an opportunity to prioritize your big compound lifts, which means squats, deadlifts, chest press, row, multi-muscle groups involved in all of these movements. And then you can supplement some isolation exercises in at the end. 3 times a week is more than enough to see great changes in shape, especially if you are just starting out, because your beginner gains are actually a real thing. Your body's going to adapt quickest at the start, so any training plan is going to be effective if you adhere to it. Next split is push-pull legs, which is chest, shoulders and triceps for pushing movements, back and biceps for pulling motions, and then legs as the third day. I will often start clients on a push-pull legs plan if they say that they are prioritizing things like running or sports outside of the gym. So if you're someone that is doing a lot of sport at the weekends, or if you're doing long runs, the last thing you probably want to be doing is doing a bit of legs every day midweek. So a full body 3 times a week may not make sense for you if you play a lot of sports or want to train for a half marathon or a long distance run. This is the issue I'm going to face next year when I actually do a half marathon and try to actually run, which means that you have to adapt your training and basically put your leg day as far away as possible from your long run or your sports. Now, we're all here to build muscle and get in shape, but you probably do need to factor in cardio and, being functional and moving about day to day as well, right? If you are doing a push-pull legs plan, I would probably recommend moving your deadlift variation to your pull day. So for example, a Romanian deadlift I'll typically do on a pull day on a 3-day split legs push-pull, because try and do your deadlift, squat, lunge, hamstring curl, leg extension, glutes all on the same day. Have fun walking the next day. It's just not going to happen. So if you want, to be able to actually walk upstairs the next day, I would definitely recommend putting your squats and deadlifts on a different day in terms of a push-pull legs plan. 4-day splits, I would say upper body, lower body is a great split. So you can split your leg day into 2 more manageable days. Again, if you try and do all of legs on twice a week, you are going to be absolutely destroyed. You're probably not going to be able to walk much. So you want to split your days into separate days essentially for legs. So for example, I would do a quad focus day on a Monday and maybe hamstring and glute focus on a Friday, where you just put them 4 or 5 days apart, and this makes it easier to manage your recovery. As long as you think you can hit 4, I think you will see quicker progress than doing 3 days a week. Whether it's hugely significant, I don't know, but I would say 4 is the sweet spot where you get enough volume into enough sets to build muscle a little bit faster than 3 days a week. And I find it particularly fun actually doing upper body, lower body. I think it's a really fun split. And then you can actually manage your recovery and have 3 days where you either just rest, do a bit of cardio or something else. Upper body sessions can be a bit longer. That's the only thing I would say about the split. Another 4-day split that I really enjoy that I've been running for a while is legs, push, pull, and then a 4th day as a weak points day. Let's be honest, it's probably going to be arms, isn't it? For most guys watching this. So that 4th day can be used to bring up certain lagging muscle groups. And what I did with this split was legs, push, pull, probably do 2 days on, rest. So legs, push, rest, pull. And then the 4th day, for me, for a 6-month period, is going to be legs. And I really want to bring up my legs for a period of time. Now, once you've done that on the weak muscle group, maybe you make that muscle group stronger, then that could become arms or upper body. I think this is a really fun split where it's a bit of a hybrid between push-pull legs, and then that additional day could be upper or lower. It could be a full body, and this is a really fun split as well. So there are a couple of options for 4-day splits there. I don't really think you should go up to 5 or 6 days a week. 5 days a week, for most people, you're going to struggle to recover if you have any form of social life. I've done this myself a number of times. I've experimented with going up to 5 days a week. As soon as I have one night out or do anything socially, I struggle to recover, and so I'd probably recommend starting at 3 or 4. So what should you take from this video? Essentially, training plan is going to come down to personal preference. It's not a massive deal. I would recommend that you just pick one. If you are a beginner or just starting out, do 3 times a week initially, and then start with full body. If you don't enjoy it after 3 months, just change it. It's not a big deal. Trial and error is your best friend here. Eventually you're going to stumble upon a split that you really enjoy, and finding a way of training that you enjoy the most is the way that you're going to adhere to it in the long term and see better results, because you've got to stay consistent for the long game to keep seeing those gains you're looking for. So push-pull legs or full body to start with. Then when you get bored, just switch to a different one. If you can then go up to 4 sessions a week, then you're looking at upper, lower, or maybe push-pull legs, full body, something like that. And just experiment with a full day a week plan at this point. Remember, you don't have to get married to your training program, right? If you pick a training plan today, you can do a different one in 6 months' time. If you get bored, you're not going to have to be doing the same training program forever. So pick one to get started based on what you think is realistic with your work routine, what you think you can actually stick to, and then you'll eventually find one that you enjoy. Now, this logic is actually backed up by a recent bit of research in 2024, which was a meta-analysis comparing full body versus muscle group splits. And they looked at basically the quads, the triceps, they looked at bench press strength, and they concluded, looking at all these studies, that the difference in muscle gain, essentially comparing the splits, very minimal. So they concluded themselves, you should probably just go for the one that you can adhere to and the one you enjoy. So pick your training program on personal preference is the overall takeaway here. I hope you found this video useful. As promised at the start, if you would like a free training program, just drop a comment below with the word plan on YouTube, or add me on Instagram, hit follow, drop me a DM with the word plan. Hope you found the video useful. If you did, hit like. If you're new, subscribe for more content, because I post valuable content like this every single week to bring you closer to your dream physique. And if you don't hit subscribe, then you're going to be missing out on some gains. So don't do that to yourself. I will see you on the next video. Cheers.